Welcome back for the last match of ESL Pro League here over in Europe. We have NiP facing off against FaZe. Still, the first map was 16-9 in the favor of FaZe. It was not that competitive, but on Overpass, we've seen some pretty good games from both of these teams, but still, you got to feel like NiP is going to be in a very uncomfortable spot. Yeah, definitely so. The firepower on FaZe is a lot to handle right now, but we did see NiP go up against Astralis in Katowice, and they was on this map, and it was 28-24 in favor of Astralis. And I actually have a clip of fancy that. What made this interesting. The T side of NiP was quite unorthodox. So if we get it rolling, I can show you what I'm talking about. Alrighty, so the usual default that you see coming out from teams is they send 3 people towards the playground area to take over party and toilets. The thing that NiP are doing in this instance is sending 3 players without utility through connector. Now, the reason that this is unorthodox is because it's a very risky position to go to. They take it without using any flashes, any Molotovs, any smokes, but the positive that they get out of this is full rotations. They can go between sewer to B or up to parties/toilets to A without any hassle. Forrest is in this area on his own, which is very risky. He does the toilet smoke, which blocks off vision, and then he throws a Molotov and a flash, which allow the players... He whiffed that flash. That's embarrassing. He throws this Molotov, and that allows his players to come out of the connector area and take over the party area. Now, from here, like I was talking about, they can execute back through connector, take over sewer whenever they want. They can walk through toilet to long. They have a lot of options right now. It's just a riskier way of doing it, and it's going to be interesting to see if, you know, FaZe have cottoned onto that and they want to contest connect to control at the start of the rounds. Yeah, I mean, that'll always be interesting because that bathroom control that we always see is so important just to push back that defense. So that's going to be huge. And I mean, here's the thing. Here's one of the criticisms that we've seen of NiP specifically on this map, is how important an AWPer can be, and they don't really have one of those. They have Forrest, who's competent with it, and they have Pitt, who's also competent with it, but they don't have someone who can be this ultra-effective, dominating AWPer in a game. Yeah, if they want to just use the AWP in a passive sense, I think leave it with Forrest. Don't worry about giving it to Pitt. I don't think that he makes the right decisions after missing a shot or maybe taking a shot and he doesn't fall back correctly or he gets himself called out from time to time. The AWP aggressively can be very effective on this map, and it kind of sucks that they can't rely on that. But there are ways that you can do just as effective things with rifles. You know, you can do the smoke in the sewer and taking over that area of the map from sandbag, or doing late monster pushes with some good time flashes. You don't always need to rely on that AWP to be the spearhead of your CT side attack. Yeah, the scary thing as well for FaZe now, if we switch over and talk about them on Overpass, is equally they have everything. They have everything, but they also just played a phenomenal game in the grand finals of Katowice again on this map against Astralis, a game which, if Dupree doesn't get a 5-man Deagle Ace, they likely win that game. So, I mean, no, this is a team that is going to be very, very dangerous. It seems like just Danish in-game leaders in general have a very, very good feel for Overpass. In this matchup specifically, I was talking to Carrigan while they were prepping for that grand final, and he was saying that him and Keo had prepared quite a few little things on the little moves on the B side of the map to attack whatever Astralis were doing. So if they haven't done their homework to the same extent against NiP, they're not going to be able to exploit that NiP default to the same level. Right. But it is good to see that they have a lot of versatility and they're willing to play to their opponent's, I guess, weaknesses or strengths, trying to counter them. But in this kind of matchup, they're probably just going to stick with a default playstyle with throwing in some aggression. All the players on this team are really good at decision-making. And Nico seems to be a guy who gets to play the rotator roles. You get to see on Nuke, he is the guy who drops down the vent and he has to worry about Secret in the lower bomb site. Well, that's what you want. You want a strong player doing that, especially one who can hit crazy shots and make smart decisions, because if you're doing that, it takes the load off. You normally have weak players doing that, like I was doing that. You have C's doing that from Na'Vi. And if that happens, you're getting caught out of position, your aim isn't as good to recover for you getting caught out. Oh, yeah, and not to mention having your superstar being able to be mobile all across the map, no matter where the point of contact, if he can get involved, that's always huge. So, yeah, I mean, that's just one of the big benefits that FaZe have, and obviously what we just saw in Nuke was the fact that no matter what round it is, no matter what buy they're bringing out, FaZe always has a chance of winning that. So it is going to be a tall task for NiP, still winless on the season, 0-5, looking for their first. I'm sorry to say that, Henry, but we will send over to Henry and Sadicus for this map.
Thank you very much. Yes, NiP desperate at this point, I think, is the only way of putting it. And hopefully they can get something rolling soon. I'm sure they've got lots of people around the world hoping that they could. Perhaps none more so than you, Henry G.
Yeah, it's true. I would like them to return to form at this point, but after seeing Nuke, I don't think this will be the map to do it. To be fair, they are very good on Overpass. We saw, like we said, going to a quarter overtime against Astralis and unable to pick up the victory, but still it was promising. As we get into the second map for them this evening, after pretty poor showing overall from Nuke, I'm not really sure what they can do to counter FaZe. Other guys said on the desk, whatever weapons they've got in their hands, they seem to be actually running away with every single round and winning all the clutches here and going up against Aloe as well. It's put up to the job of on that CT side. I'm not so sure.
Wow, that's... I mean, Overpass for NiP has had decent results in the past, but to say that they could do this right now against FaZe, who have been absolutely phenomenal, they've got so much individual skill, that's a whole other story, and I'm not sure that I'm going to give them the reliance of doing so. Definitely Freiburg last year in Pro League, when they were struggling then, or at least seemed to be, was the one to step it up inside of the B side.
Yeah, it's right. Him and Exist, very good in that B side together. They're great at using utility and detecting when the final commitment's coming in from the terrorists there. And that was a huge string to their bow, actually managing to hold off a lot of the executes here. And we'll see whether they can step up as we go into the T side for them. 5 sets of armor suggests something quite simple coming in, maybe towards middle, as we'll see FaZe Clan bring up 4 sets of armor. And Carrigan, of course, it's normally the in-game leader that has a bit of utility. He's got a defuse kit, 2 flashbangs, and Alu aggressive towards mid and Rain checking connector.
So Pith wants to try and be the one to open things up for NiP.
Hold on. Okay.
What are you holding on about?
I got a bit confused, don't worry.
Forrest is flying around the map. He's just absolutely on a tear, looking to try and open things up. Alu's the one that's outside in the bathrooms he has to consider. Rain's behind him at the park sign. But who strikes first and who gets the opening? Seems to be NiP. Forrest with the shot on Alu. He looks for more, swaps to the USPS. I would say probably the best gun in all of Counter-Strike. And that stands from a satisfactory point of view. Every time I get a kill on it, it's just so satisfying.
It's true. Well, for now, it's a 4-on-4. NiP not overcommitting just yet. The bomb's towards B, that's in the back of Pit. So contact play towards this side of the map, and it's very defensive hold from the CTs here. Nico and Kiyoshima watching those tight angles, and the Kiyo to strike first. He doesn't spot Pit crossing across, and it's going to be the same story for Get Right as well. Bomb will make it to the site, undetected for now.
Undetected indeed. But bomb planted. It's going to have to be swift from FaZe to try and get back in. Shots come through. They find the first. Nico doing the damage.
Filthy. 2 kills with Nico there. A bit promising for NiP as they walk into the site. Like we said, undetected, but nice sort of crossfire there in the CT entrance from the CTs. One watching towards short on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is Kiyoshima is watching the bomb site itself. NiP get the bomb down, but they might not buy into this round, considering what we've seen so far. I think the safe bet would be getting the AKs and the third, but it's FaZe Clan to get 3 UMPs, now 4, and an M4-1S in the hands of Nico as well. Nothing really purchased here for NiP. A couple of PT50s, a Deagle, that's about it.
About it indeed. See if they can make do. Get Right. Gonna head out with the gut knife. Been a while since I've seen a gut knife. About the only knife I ever owned in this game, Henry.
I've got a few you can have.
Really? That would be remarkable if you did, but it's Rain that's gonna walk around the corner, finds 2, make it a third. Down goes Exist, and the UMP has built Rain a ton of cash.
Yep, nice little $1,800 as quickly as that. It's going to be 5-on-2. Get Right in for us. Not really much I can do into this round. They're looking for the AKs in the next one, so we weren't expecting much, to be fair. They found 1 or 2 kills, that'd have been amazing. Bomb going down would have been a miracle, but there it is, Forrest. He gets a headshot towards Rain. Now, maybe could get a couple more. Like, he just wants to cause damage to the economy of the CTs, force some reinvestment there, and when they bring the AKs out, maybe go up against a slightly weakened CT side. But I would say that's unlikely now. He is completely locked in. Gives position away now.
Yep. Tries for it. And Forrest falls to Alu, but Rain is going to be laughing with the situation. 5950, 5600 for Alu, by the way. AWP player. Remember last time you said they weren't going to let him eco to try and bring out the op early?
Oh, here it is.
He's got the op on round 3.
And a good spawn towards long as well. So that area can be locked down. There's no chance NiP can have an AWP against him, so he can be a little bit more aggressive than usual, take some wider peeks if he wants to. You can see the bike himself for NiP, but they only have 1 smoke and a few flashbangs to work with here. So not ideal. Straight towards B we go. Maybe just a contact play here. Smoked out for now. Carrigan gave himself a nice little position. This will be the explosion play. They're going to be hugging. Oh my God, Carrigan! That was so good.
You were genuinely excited by that, I have to say, as Kiyoshima.
Perfect.
Inside of the site's going to try and swing back the other direction. Manages to find the first opening kill, but Forrest is there to respond. That leaves it at 2 versus 2, and rotations both going toward the window. At least they looked it for a moment. Reigns thought better of it.
Well, when Carrigan opens things up in an exciting manner there, running through the smoke blindly, holding mouse 1, hugging all the terrorists, and he only gets 2. I was getting excited. I thought he was going to mow all of them down there. It looked like they were going to line up for him. but now still a winnable situation for NiP. 2-on-2, but Alu in a great position here. We said the smokes were limited, and apparently not a problem. Alu misses a rare shot there, and the bomb will be planted, and Exist makes it a 2-on-1.
Starts it well. Alu has it all to do. Bomb not yet planted. It's going to go down in behind the plywood now. The wide peek from Forest gives Get Right, gives NiP. Get Right included in that NiP team, obviously.
Yeah.
Their first round, 2-1. The reinvestment from the AWP from Alu now starts to be costly because they built up so much money, but it's going to be thrown over to him this time. And it's Kerrigan that buys it, so leader of the pack going to be the one that sacrifices.
Yeah, Orp is so influential on this map. He's happy to go down to a pistol, allow Alu to maybe go a bit more dynamic here, pick up a kill towards middle. That's what he's going to try and do here. That smoke allows him to jump up. It's normally Rain, to be fair, but that's silenced M4 that tries to take this position. NiP seem to be aware, though. Double nades in towards it, and he goes down to 25 HP. That's going to hurt a lot. So he'll fall back. NiP suddenly done their homework when they see that smoke go down. Rain was causing havoc with that. I kind of he was finding two kills consistently in that position with the silence M4. Normally that's an AWP play, but it's going to be Exist going down first at the party position as well. This is why they dropped the AWP over towards Alu. And it's a 5-on-4. 1:20 mark. So NiP, in terms of the map control, Get Right is making his way towards the end of the bathrooms here. It's a nice little shot to take down Rain. He was the low HP player. Alu looking to return the favor almost instantaneously as he gets flashed off. And he's still hunting to get intel for his team at this point.
Kerrigan. Go ahead and work in back toward the water position. He's got one. Oh, careful on the quick switch. Goes back. How do they let him live in that situation? Because he nearly does further damage. But Get Right will put him down in the end.
He does indeed. But Kiyoshima with the M4. Same story for Nico as well. NiP still have a lot of work to do here. 30 seconds remaining. Looks like the B commitment will come in. Smokes towards the side. Molotovs at the barrels as well, but that's not going to force Kiyoshima out of position. He's playing behind the pillar. And a good shot towards Get Right. He takes a lot of damage, but he can fall back to safety here.
To safety indeed. Kiyoshima gap to try and look up toward the site when Forest crosses back over the man advantage is what they're hoping will buy them time and space.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, Alu has now limited again to a 1 versus 2. Dragon Lore looking to try and find its way in.
It is. I think he has to save there.
That's the better call. Yeah, definitely the better call.
With no kit and 2 players final to get into the bomb to defuse, very, very unlikely he does anything there. Still walking a no-scope, one of them. Hope the other one's not facing at the same time. There's just no chance, really. So there will be eco next round with Alu on the AWP. We saw on Nuke with a saved M4 what FaZe can do. There's so much talent in this team, bucket loads of it. If Alu can get going, maybe goes towards B, Monster Tunnel goes to that first pick, goes back towards A at that point, maybe he can win the round single-handedly. That's what will be required. I don't think they'll force into this round. That'd be bizarre at this point. So early on, it's 2-2. Don't want to throw the money completely away. So Alu, it's up to him. Maybe get some P250s. See if he goes towards B. Looks like he will. That makes the most sense to me, at least. Monster Tunnel pick at the start. Go back towards A. See whether he can make something out of nothing here.
Something out of nothing indeed. Freiburg down toward the underpass position. The AK. Alu with the op is actually getting very close to Monster Tunnel. Perfect. And he nails Pit. The up-close pick, no chance he saw that coming.
Now he goes back towards A. Oh, this connector position as well. This could actually work out for FaZe. He could get 1 or 2 kills there. Unfortunately, Nico taken down, but it doesn't matter because Rain's going to strike back with a P250. Gets an AK as well. Oh, that got very scary indeed. It's still going to be a 3-on-3 advantage towards the Ninjas, though, because they have the weaponry. Alu, the only player on the CD side with a weapon in, that's the AWP.
Check into water from Exist. He'll fire in through the tin wall. No one on the other side to receive it. Kerrigan's going to push up as well at long. He could strike opportunistically toward long. Forest is actually going to rotate all the way back around instead. Just going to hold off the flank. So they're slowing things down at 55 seconds. It seems peculiar that Forest would run back further away from the objective on the map, but he's making sure there's no flight coming out from B. Also making sure Kerrigan can't push out from long, which the flash will help to secure as they head back over this direction. Alu, though, is waiting still inside of this B site. Oh, he's going to look the wrong direction, though. If he had waited a second longer, he may have had that door open for him.
30 seconds remaining now. They're going to the position where Alu is waiting for them. He's a Monster Tunnel, though. They come short. He's actually in quite a lot of trouble. Kiyoshima desperately trying to back him up. And Alu now in a world of pain. 25 HP, has to hit at least the first shot, which he nails. Back towards Monster Tunnel, and he gets a second as well, but can't find the frag, but it's a 2 versus 1 for Forest.
And the low HP. Forest has 10 to work with, bomb down, and 10 seconds to work with as well. Alu wins the round on the op alone.
We said it was a possibility, and that's why he saves that weapon. It was almost as we predicted, Matt. Towards our Monster Tunnel at the start of the round, he finds the player in T-spawn. I'm not really sure what they're facing an angle, to be fair. That's such a common strategy for an AWP that's saved. That's, like I said at the start of the round, that's where I'd be going with it at the start, and Alu does the same thing. He gets that first pick, goes back towards A. They start getting funneled. They lose a bit of a duel towards Connector as well. It's a 3-on-3, and they have no choice but to walk in that B side. Alu hits 2 shots in a row and finishes off the job as well with the AK-47. It is a force buy from the Ninjas here, but aggressive play from Nico. Going towards the playground, looking for 3, but he can't find it. It's Rain. He steps up and he gets 3 himself. Round over. Just Pip remaining, and the aggressive play from the Ninjas, I should say FaZe, manages to pick them up. An amazing round here. That's a great response, but Pip, he's not done quite yet. He gets 2 kills with the Desert Eagle. As we calm down slightly, he does have a chance in this one. He picks up the AWP. Bomb's still down.
You calm down.
I'm trying.
Kerrigan is going to work around, though. This is so low for Pitt. He's trying to do what he can with an AWP and head back towards spawn, open up potentially a laneway. Pitt, though, meanwhile, it's faked it. He's gone back the other direction. It's back toward A bomb. It's going to be picked up again. 54 seconds. He could slip by Kiyoshima. They need to be careful not to over-rotate. They've got so much information from Kerrigan pushed out by construction, but Kiyoshima, he's going to go out toward top stairs. Pith's just gone by him.
If he can actually get it towards the A site, he has a smoke and an incendiary to work with. That eradicates risks, right? If he plants a bank, he could Molotov towards CT spawn and then smoke towards long, for example. Something like that. Depends where he wants to go with it, or he could do the standard plant and then do it in opposite, smoke towards bank and CT Molotov CT spawn itself. That might actually happen here. He's going to get the bomb down, and it's still a possibility with the grenades he has in his pocket.
Pitt looking.
Smoke.
Bomb's going to go default, surprisingly, because he's got no information out toward the bathroom position, but he takes long instead, perhaps. Considers the dumpster.
So, the bomb now as well.
I wonder if he's going to go Yugi style.
What's that?
He's planted it straight in the middle and then looks to spam through the box. That's harder to do on the defuse, though. That seems like a risk in a post plant. Well, and the risk is gone anyway.
I think you're probably right. That's probably what he was going to go for. He's 7 HP. Might have to go for something a little bit crazy. But not meant to be. The HE grenades take him down, and that's a little bit anticlimactic. But still, it's going to be 4 plays 2. Here's the aggressive play from the CTs. This was beautiful stuff from Rain. It comes down to a tight round in the end due to some fantastic pistol work from Pip, but he can't win the round. He gets the bomb down for his team. That helps boost their economy. That was a force buy from Ninjas. 3 pistols and 2 AKs. The 4-2 now. FaZe starting to get quite a firm lead as we get to round number 7. This should be one be favoured for them, unless someone goes wild with Deagle. Alu knows it. Won't be committing just yet. 3 players towards connector for the Ninjas here. No nades to work with.
Excuse me. It's going to try to break that. Rotates around, though, in the Tech 9. Try and make a play where he can, where it's available to him. Alu backs off towards sight and then gets a little bit closer with his M4. Rain, meanwhile, is going to back him up, and as they get closer, Alu can't find an opening. Molotov at the front, though, should funnel him into toward Rain. His position now becomes crucial.
Does indeed. But it's a 5-on-4 for now. CTs don't have to work too hard at this point. Rain spots another one, and I would say this might be a little bit of an overcommitment as this takes down Nico, but the round should be secured. Alu with a lovely little shot there. And a 1 kill for NiP, no bomb plant down, but the money should be in a position where they can buy into this one. Or probably not going to be a possibility. I think the highest rolling player had $4,800. So they get a nice array of AKs and Molotovs and smokes to work with it, but Alu's got the best spawn available, so does he go to connector this time? That's what the top of us do. We always talk about him being very good at this sort of stuff. Chain position up every single round. It looks like he'll be focusing towards middle this time. Does he drop the smoke? Yet to be seen. He doesn't. He's going for the dry face here. Let's see whether he manages to pick it up. Almost did. Fully blind, pulls the trigger. Doesn't connect the shot just yet.
Rain's going to wait at the tree as well and see if anyone's going to walk out toward him.
This feels like Nuke, where they're losing that first pick consistently.
It's not quite as battering as Nuke. In Nuke, it's explosive, right? So they lose the first pick, but they were losing them all quickly. At least they're trying to slow things down and work it back in their favor, but you're right. They're not getting much to work with early.
Well, It's a really nice pick from Carrigan. I think that was one player walking in towards B, because he plays towards Monster. Maybe pushed off towards short. I didn't quite catch it, but needless to say, it is a 5-on-4. Terror is now a bit of bathroom control to work with there. It's going to be Get Right and Freiberg towards middle. Bomb is still making his way towards B, though. As Carrigan flashes that tunnel entrance. Exist just hoping someone makes a mistake here, can actually make something happen of it. But look towards long. Rain's coming in for the flank as well, getting so much intel for his team. They can start stacking towards B at this point. As soon as he goes about maybe 10 meters further, he'll start saying, okay, boys, get towards the B side, it's coming. And it suddenly is, as Rain gets all the intake on. All the rotations come in now. Carrigan finding another kill. There's actually Kiyoshima to pick up the first one, but Kiyoshima is still alive as his teammate drops.
Bad situation for Kyo to be in, to work in the site this late, this much time to work with, and find Freiberg as well. Means 22 seconds left to work with for Get Right, and that won't even matter. It goes 6-2 for FaZe on the CT side.
So there it is. FaZe go aggressive at the start of the round, find the first pick. Job done, fall back, go passive, wait for NiP to commit to a position. Rain's pushed off towards long as well. He's got all the information that can actually start rotating towards B just as the final commitment comes in from NiP. And this is looking disastrous once again. After pulling the third round back after losing the pistol after winning the pistol and getting the 2-0, it was that force buy from FaZe that shut it all down. And, going into round number 9 here, Glocks and 3K in the bank. It's not looking too good. I think this is a chance to compose himself and work out what's going wrong here.
A lot. I mean, this goes 0-6.
That's not great, is it?
That's out of the playoffs at that point,
And
I'm
just to
afraid.
note as well, Mouse Sports just beat North in the first map there. They're currently...
What? That means
Yeah.
they could actually push through.
Yeah, how crazy is that? After losing Nico, they're actually
Nico's
looking
going
better
to
than
get 2
ever.
teams to the playoffs.
That's nuts. And no one thought that team would be able to survive after that. But they're proving us all wrong, and I'm happy to say it. Like, that's really cool. Maybe they feel like there's not so much pressure anymore, and they can just play as a little team and not rely on...
A little team.
Well, do you know what I mean, though? Like,
No,
that-
I know. I just, the
like,
choice of adjective.
It's just like the fact that they're not having anyone barking them, they can take a few more risks. Like, I've casted one game with theirs since Nico left, and Dennis actually looks pretty good. He's actually taking peeks and not scared of dying for once. Like, he knows if he dies early in the round, he's going to get shouted at by Nico, right?
Yep.
So he actually looks like a little bit more confident. Chris J coming back as well. I think they have a bit better spirit overall, so that's quite cool to see them beating North. That's a really big result for them, and they're currently top of the table, if I'm not mistaken, after winning that. So
Yep, they would be. Especially because North was top as well. They were
Yeah.
co-top table, I think it was almost tied. I'd have to look. It changes so quickly, so frequently. It's
does.
hard to believe we're week 3 already.
yeah, still early days. How many weeks are in total? Like 12 or something?
Yeah, it was quite a few.
Well,
Quite a few. There's no definitive amount. I can't say there's 12 or there's 11 because if there's a carryover amount of games, right? There's an extra
there's a
week
lot
on
of
the
weeks.
calendar in case it's required. As we already know, G2 and Fnatic played each other, and they had one that had to be rescheduled. So it's designed for that type of purpose. But we're back underway, and NiP, we'll see if the timeouts yielded anything beneficial for the fact that they're on Tech 9s. They will smoke off the Molotov. It does minor damage to Get Right. They're going to push through. And by pushing through, they're hoping to catch off Kiyoshima, but he gets one flash. He'll fall down inside of the water position instead, and that brings Carrigan into the equation. Takes down one, nearly lines up the second. He'll go back and forth again, and then back and forth again, and then dancing around a pole like someone who's being paid, and try and do the damage, and finally Exist will go down to Rain.
well, they tried to go very fast towards B. The Molotov shut them down towards short. They had to delay it slightly there. Kiyoshima had a ton of footsteps coming in. Good flashbangs from NiP, but ultimately only find one kill and no bomb plant. That was a partial buy. They were looking to round number 10 here. They've already taken the pause. So 5 AKs once again. I can't think of a round so far in this series where we've seen NiP with an AWP on either side. Nuke, I can't tell you a single round they had it. I haven't seen it so far in Overpass. So
Question, yeah.
that was a big question going into this one, to be fair. What's NiP going to do with their AWP situation? Those double nades, once again, are quite punishing, but they're still going to commit to this boost. Oh, I saw 2 players! And it's going to be Get Right to pick up that frag. That boost can be very good, but not when the T's are operating that quickly.
Rain. Fall away inside of the bathrooms, go into the site instead, and NiP are going to try and beat him down long. Careful, Forest! Careful, Rain. Because Get Right's able to take him down, and Forest nearly gets an nade pulled out in the wrong moment. It's Kiyoshima, though, that's pulled it back to Get Right. And Freiberg starts to look for the flank. He's got to be very careful of this consideration, this position that he has. And he may have timed this just well enough, because Carrigan is thinking of it, but doesn't have the information yet that they're committed into the site. When does he elect that he has to go? It's a minute to work with. There's no need for him to overextend. He's got map control by pinching them off, but Freiburg's got a better shot.
It's good work by Freiburg there, but still work to do. It's Kiyoshima with 2 kills so far. That plan could be disastrous. No!
They knew they opened up. There's a minute. They knew they opened up behind them. They knew Kerrigan was down. As soon as they spotted a bank, you would have expected Pit to back off. Instead, he commits to the bomb plant. And it's 4 HP, 13 for Kyo. He has tagged it back. Flash goes out.
No, God!
Kiyoshima runs out of ammo, goes back and finds it. This is sloppy Counter-Strike, but it's another round for FaZe.
What a horrible way to finish it. Oh, God. And there's the round. Similar scenes to what we saw on Nuke. The blunder comes in. And they're rushing the situation again, Matt. Time on the board. They have the advantage. They rushed that plant, and you can see Kiyoshima, he's loving it, okay? Well, that's one player out of the situation. You've got to plant the bomb and take you 4 seconds, right? So he knows, okay, if I find his teammate now, I can win this round. Takes the one down at Bathrooms. He's supposed to be covering him. He gets his head blasted. At that point, the planting player there, Pit, he gets tagged by the 5-7 as he's falling back as well, and it was really scrappy 1v1, but Kiyoshima just about wins. He has to reload. How did he survive after reloading his 5-7? I have no idea. That's a good shot from FaZe.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's one of the sloppiest rounds I've seen in a while. Jumping around, bullets flying everywhere. 2 blind men shooting in his sight. Exist. He'll get Kiyoshima down, but it's Rain to pull back on Forest. It brings it back to a 5 versus 4. Nico's still inside of the B side. He's going to try and work to find ground and construction bomb. It's with Pit. It's outside of Monster. Rain will slip inside.
Gotta win this one,
of
boys.
the lower position. Kerrigan getting Exist. That drops inside of the site. Rain's got to pull it back. 1 versus 3 spotted already. Do they run through? Do they commit to the plant this time to give him a chance to try and count it off? Just barely. Pit gets over the wall, and Freiburg will get back. So have no fear.
I have a bit of fear, to be fair. But NiP managed to do it, finding an initial kill there towards middle. Very nice shot from Forest. At that point, that's their cue to make their way in towards B. It was a little bit scary as Exist went through the smoke by himself at the start of the round. He got taken down, but they managed to rectify that mistake. And we go into round number 12, man. It's 8-3, a double orb setup this time. Kerrigan very proficient with that weapon as well. They have a nice secondary orb to fall back to with him. And it's Rain this time, who's looking to maybe use that smoke once again towards middle. He waits for the nades this time. That's smart. He's been taking a lot of damage from those nades. Now loose towards connector.
Is connected with the AWP. Not a bad shout, not a bad position. Get right, getting closer. See the sparks landing on the doorway from shots fired in. Shoulder bait out. Get right presumes correctly that he's likely there. And it nearly works out.
They've done it again though, right? Because they got that first pick, Kerrigan. Okay, now it's a 4-4, so slightly more interesting. They wanted to fall back at that point because they had the advantage once again. They wanted to apply the pressure towards NiP as I lose my voice. Sorry.
It's fine, you're allowed. I'll permiss you to. But only this one time, Henry. Keo gonna swing it out. I wasn't sure if Freiburg was gonna be shown from that position or not. But Rain up top, and Freiburg certainly shown after Keo Molotovs him out. Good shot from Kiyoshima. He's looking good again as well.
He's looking great.
Yeah, he's looking very... I used to think that when he and Apex were together on the LDLC lineup, that he was actually every bit as good as Apex on opening a site.
Yeah. And he's also said he'll never be part of a French shuffle once again. He's found his team and he's stuck with it. And although he was like benched at one point, right?
Yes, which was I'm sure very worrying for him based on the previous comment you just mentioned.
Yeah, but then he comes back and this is the best FaZe I've ever looked. Like they're very happy right now and they seem to be getting better and better. This double orb setup coming out once again. Similar scenes to what we saw on Nuke and NiP now. 9-3 down, another Rika coming in. It's looking quite grim overall. Rain aggressive once again in middle, behind the fountain. What a perfect position, all things considered. Doesn't nail the shot straight away. Probably has to fall back at this point. He's ascertained it's eco here. Just 2 deagles available. That's Kerrigan. Full control of the monster tunnel here. How can they possibly shut him down? The flashbang could work. It's good. And they dink him as well.
Kerrigan trying to pull this back, this situation for his team. Work down below with Rain to get the first opening kill. Exist will try and pull back with a pistol. Deagle inside of the water position. But he and Forrest left alive. This is going to go to 10-3. Another abysmal half for NiP. And again...
Already had first stage loss bonus as well, Matt.
Yep, that's going to be a reset because they just won the previous.
So the money is available. Get right could drop an orb. Obviously, we haven't seen that all even for NiP. There's a buy there. It must be a rough one. A couple of AKs, Galil's, maybe a UMP. I think that player with 6K can drop something over. I think he drops the Galil. So something there, but they have to win these last 2 rounds. Like, they're not looking strong enough right now to go toe-to-toe with FaZe in terms of firepower or even tactical depth. Forest, he gets the UMP, there it is, to finish things off.
Forest will rotate around over toward outside position at Park with the rest of his team. Alu's waiting as well with the aggressive push out from CT spawn, but no one's going to be there this time for him to pick up. He'll have to be a little bit more patient, hold off the position. Pick, meanwhile, is waiting to see if there'll be pushes on the other side of the map. NiP needs to find the opening pick this time, Henry. I'm going to say it. They haven't done it multiple times. They're going to have to this time.
Well, in terms of their control right now, Party has been taken over. They go towards long. That's one of the orbs are waiting for them, though. It's going to be Alu playing quite passively here, watching the flower bed. Bomb's still down towards B, though, so this could be a bit of a ruse coming in. Show some presence towards long. Smoke out Alu's vision at the end there, force him back. At that point, get ready to send the bomb towards B.
Alu's looking, trying. Low smoke gonna go down. Does land in front of him. It looks like it might go deep for a moment.
Rain, though.
This is such a good position
Just
for him to be
done
in.
it, hasn't he?
Yep. Just wait. Don't shoot. You already saw 2. Just be careful how much you want to run, though, because he gives himself up quite easily
So
in
he's getting
doing so.
off.
He's got to be careful as well because his rotation's going in behind him. But it doesn't even matter. Rain strikes. Down goes Exist. Knows now they're on B, but Kerrigan somehow peculiar enough. A bit of an overcommitment toward Monster. Gets caught. Leaves it to a 3 versus 3, which means the bomb plant can go down. And the rotations aren't in, so we're back to square footing despite Rain's position. Nico gonna get aggressive above the smoke, try and hold off to make sure that if they do peek out, he's ready to strike. But eventually has to commit inside of the site. Forest will get Kiyoshima. It's an advantage for NiP. They may find another one here, Henry.
Should do.
Nico's gonna commit to it. Another smoke goes in. Forest finds him first, but Rain strikes back out. Sneaks in. 1 versus 2. Spots another. Over top of the barrels. It's Forest down at Freiburg. He's got a kit. He's gonna try and bait him out. He knows he's toward the bags, or does he? Second guesses it. Freiburg commits. Down he goes. And Rain, ooh, I think he's just barely got it. I think he's got it. He does indeed. 4 kills. And he's gonna make it 11-3.
A 3-on-1 map. He does it again. It looked like it was all done for. He had no time to win that round. He gets 4 kills in total, and it's 11-3. They did so well to get back into their own. Such beautiful CS from FaZe overall. The fact that Ray's back slapped him like that, didn't go for the kills, allowed Alu to get information, and then funneled him towards B. NiP get himself in a perfect situation. Forest doing great work with the AWP. 3 versus 1. The round they have to win, and Rain clutches it. Amazing from him, to be fair, but that was so winnable. They just don't give him anything to work with. Just don't challenge at all. Just wait till he touches the bomb.
Ooh, and Freiburg does open it up at this time for NiP. Get right before the smoke blooms will get Keo. They're starting to make some of these rounds closer, though, Henry. I will say that.
Okay, something I guess.
Stop it. You stop it, man.
They can't have 0-6, dude. It has to be 11-4. Still possible with that scoreline.
That's possible. But how likely is it all to be? As Exist gets downed by Nico. It's not the situation they needed, not the next result they were looking for. Nico. Kerrigan inside of the site as well, jumping. That'll be heard by Get Right. But does Get Right call their rotating off because Kerrigan immediately runs toward the stairwell. Bomb is going toward A, and Alu has Forest down. A 3 versus 3 with Bomb in front of Bathrooms, 41 seconds remaining. And it's just gonna go back to B now. Finally, they make the call, and they've made a lot of poor calls, I think, with information after having Bomb in a situation where it walks into essentially a trap. Cue the Kiyoshima round.
Okay then, Kerrigan, what have you got? Flashbang is poor, but will be punished for it. I thought he was going to miss the shot there, Kerrigan. He's dropped the bomb now. That's ball some time as the rotation will come in as well. There's a low HP player in front of them as well. Oh god, this is looking scary, but Get Right pulls the frag back. It's up to Alu now to win the 2 versus 1. The Molotov could deny the plant here. I think it will.
Don't think yet. Just barely. Freiburg gets it in. Now that means that Alu's best chance is missed. He's got to go full clutch mode with an M4 to work with, and Get Right's going to hold it off 11-4. Henry, they get what you said they need, but can they do better? Can they try and pull this back in the second half?
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad so far for NiP, 11-4, but they do win that last round. Not over just yet. We'll take a quick break and see whether, once again, can NiP pull it back.
They say that good things come to those who wait, but I'm sick of waiting and NiP is sick of losing, I'm sure. It's 11-4. They've got a massive comeback they need to achieve in this half.
Well then, Matthew, 11-4. Comeback is on. It goes without saying once again, they need the pistol here. If they don't get it, it's going to be an early shout out for the NiP boys. As we get into the second half here, they are ready to go. Match has been restarted. I'll have a look at the buys. It's FaZe now on the terrorist side. And Carrigan, normally the utility player, should be forced to survive on him with a smoke and 2 flashbangs. We'll see what that rings true. As I'm struggling with land death right now. Katowice killed me a little bit.
Land death.
Yeah. I used to get this all the time when I was younger. I actually used to go to events, used to sleep on the table and stuff. But I haven't really got it in recent years.
On a table?
Yeah, I used to sleep like on the keyboard.
Oh, BYOCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dream hack. When they hack your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Woke a few kids up. They didn't like it too much. But to start off, Freiburg goes over toward the B site. No kit on the NiP side. Get right thinks about going in. Kiyoshima's there, ball's back, but that gives them sandbags. They have to find the kills. They manage it so far. So good. Bomb goes down. And a better kill from Get Right as he finds Kiyoshima as well. It's Nico 1 versus 4.
Good job from NiP. A very basic execution towards the B site. One spoke deployed, try and get in there, but close range positioning from Get Right enables him to get 3 kills there. So Nico now up against it, 4 versus 1. This has got to be a guaranteed round at this point. Don't give him anything. You've got the bomb. Make him pick it up. No one has to challenge. Should be a round where NiP finish with 4 players here.
Get Right.
If he gets 1.
He's gonna try and hold, 3 peeking. I was gonna say, gonna try and hold off the angle with his teammates, but Nico's there and walks into it. It does go down, and now they've got a chance. Henry, you said 11-4 was needed.
Yeah.
Back. Get Right came so close to pushing through, and I think he was trying to bait them in at that point.
Yeah, well, it works out very nicely. Pick gets that first shot, and Get Right ends up getting 3. This last one was actually pretty cool. As you can see through the box slightly, there it is. Manages to get Kiyoshima. Good work. Forced buy from FaZe, though. Not out of the woods just yet, boys. It's going to be UMP's Famous and an M4 up against these deadly pistols of the FaZe team. As we get into round number 2. CT's only a bit of intel there, smoking off towards middle. Just need to avoid going down and traded it. That's the aim of the game.
Smoke out for Forest. Falls back. 3 rather SMGs. But those 3 SMGs could arguably be said to be better than the lovely FAMAS brought up from Pith. Dink does come in, you're right, good call, but it's not much of one because it's 60 HP still for Get Right to work with. Shots fired back as well. Either way, it's Get Right to find the first kill. Bomb is dropped. And now Lou starts to slip in, hopefully undetected. He wants to catch off Exist. He may do. In transition, tries to relocate, can't do it. Tech 9, low HP.
Yeah.
Really gets another, but NiP should be able to secure this situation now. In fact, they will. Done.
They will indeed. That was a bit scary at points, but Get Right there, getting 4 kills once again. He's got 17 in total, actually playing pretty well at Overpass, considering the scoreline. Not the same story for Freiburg, though, 6 for 14. But excuse me, round number 3 coming in. This should be the full eco for FaZe Clan. Nothing invested whatsoever. Won't be an AWP available within the next round either. So let's try to get the bomb down this round. If they get that down, that's amazing. But what's the play here? How do you even find a kill with just Glocks and no nades?
Well, this goes aggressive toward the park. Let's see what he can find in that position with an M4. Forrest as well is hoping to get baited in by the fact that he's backed off. That'll work to find damage and a kill. Drive by, trying to tap because he's running low on ammunition. And Ring gives himself up as tribute, but it is Kiyoshima to get Forrest back. And that means problems for Exist because he's overstepped the mark. That's guns picked up. It's 3 versus 3. Low HP for Kiyo. Call it what you will because they can still make a play of this with numbers toward the A site. Thankfully, Get Right's in position and ready for it.
Yeah, that's a good kill from Get Right. Now it's Kiyoshima on 2 HP. Should be the round secured. They have got an M4 to work with here, so a little bit scary, but I don't see much threat coming in here.
Freiburg going to stay behind the yellows. Make do where he can. 2 HP for Kiyoshima. Cops rolling their sirens off in the distance, Henry. They better need an ambulance rather than a cop because they're going to need to heal Alu. He goes down last. It's 11-7. So they are pulling back the 3 standard rounds. Now the first gun. That's the next test. Cross that hurdle. You get 5 in a row. You're at 9-11, and you get a game.
Yeah, certainly. Well, FaZe don't have the ult to work with, but Forest does. We've always criticized Pit on this map, saying he's not really necessarily built for this one. It seems like his decision-making isn't fantastic, especially towards long. Like, he doesn't know whether to be aggressive or passive. It's a mixture of both, and doesn't really work out too well. So it seems Forest is back on opening responsibilities on the CT side, at least. This gets towards Connect Up, but he's going to be challenged as well. Get will be backing him up, trying to get the aggro from him. It's a nice setup. It's difficult to handle. They Molotov that position, and that's when it becomes a bit of an issue.
Perfect position, pops out, takes the bomb down as well. And this now means a bit of problems for FaZe. Bigger problems as well, because Alu's found this is the gun round, exactly the gun round that NiP needed. Kiyoshima tries to Molotov back toward bathrooms, push them back a little bit further, and hopefully get toward that bomb. But look how hard, it's being babysat right now from NiP.
Yeah, 5-on-2. And Kiyoshima and Nico should be out as well. Nice crossfire from NiP there as we round over. Just a note as well, Matt, Mouseball's just beat North on Inferno as well. They got to 2-0.
Wow.
What is going on?
That's ridiculous. On Inferno, North's pretty good on that little map.
Yep. Do.
That's pretty impressive. I have to say that'll certainly shake things up as well because Mousesport's getting a great start that they had with Nico. If they continue on with that and they make the playoffs, it's one other team that's going to be chomping at the bit trying to find their way to a better position in the season, undoubtedly.
Well, Nico now finds 1 kill, but that should be all he gets as Pip takes him down there. And there it is, 4-0 for NiP. They're slowly getting back into this one map. And we have a game on our hands potentially here. It's 11-8, and they can't really buy into this round. They do get maximum loss minutes next round, so probably a partial buy. Tech-9s, Deagles, body armor, some nades. They're always scary on this round, but the odds tell us that NiP should be taking it. Or still for Forest. So there is an adjustment here. It seems like he will be full-time AWP on both sides. So normally it was just him T side and then Pit on the CT side. They've gone against that idea. And probably for the best, I would say, overall.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree with that. Exist.
Was it Vegas that was really prominent?
It was Matt. Yeah, it was just, Pit was really poor on this map on the CT side of Vegas. Yeah. We mentioned it quite a bit. It was inconsistent. He just didn't know when to peek and when not to. I think he felt pressured.
He found himself in awkward positions where he couldn't hit the shots. That was the problem, right? He couldn't hit the shots. He'd commit to a really aggressive peek, but just couldn't nail the shot to actually justify it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Forest. Oof.
He's solid on the AWP. He just hits the shots that count. Nothing too flashy, but he can be decent.
Let's throw in the A site, including Get Right, who plays at the truck. Try and deny the default on the way through. Forrest still waiting for the opportunity. Plays over to the right rather than the left. Kios shoulder peek once again to get the information, but Forrest holds true. Like you say, nothing fancy, but makes it work. Has to as well against the Pistols. Rain takes them down. That could be an issue because the ops go on inside of the site. They're going to push on. Exist can't find openings. The longer he takes to find them, the sooner they get on top of the site. It's down to Rain.
How many clutches does he want today? He's got an M4 as well. 35 seconds remaining. Get the bomb just here. Checks towards long. Oh god, if that shot hits. My god, he's doing it.
He might just do it. Pick the find, Rain! That's insanity. Another 4K clutch for Rain today. I think that's maybe 4 or 5 clutches in 2 maps. That's ridiculous.
I feel a bit sick.
Why? You've been complaining all week.
No, not because of that. Because that was ungodly how he pulls that one off. What the hell? How are NiP allowing this to happen? They keep getting themselves in the open before the bomb's planted. And he just, yes, it's amazing from him. Don't get me wrong. Like, he shouldn't be winning that. He shouldn't be hitting those shots. But still, the fact he's not forced to plant or anything, like, he can't believe his luck there. They're trying to stick together, and that's a big round for FaZe to pick up. Just as we said, the 5-0's coming in. NiP give one away once again. It's to Rain. How many clutches is this guy going to get tonight? Good lord.
Forrest will wait in from the park. Try to look back to find another. Gets a good position. Finds Kiyoshima back. So, checks it right. Thinks about it. But doesn't look the right way at the right time. And Alu is able to get the kill back. What a clutch. What a time for that clutch, too. Just as NiP's getting momentum.
Indeed. You could make a frag montage with Rain's 2 maps here alone. Like, he's been...
Do it then.
I might do tonight. That'll be on my little project. Windows Movie Maker.
I was going to say, yep.
Yeah.
Get the old classic in there.
Yeah. But round number 6 and no utility left for NiP. You can see they've got the rifle, sure, but only 2 flashbangs to work with. FaZe, on the other hand, they've got 3 smokes, a Molotov, and flashbangs to work with. And in terms of the situation, a 4-on-4 favors the terrorists, and they were going towards B here. A smoke from Carrigan. Smokes off the CT entrance. As you can see it flying in right now, one towards Heaven as well. There's a boost coming in. Freiburg, he has to deliver here. This is their only chance to really defend this. This boost is good. It's a nice idea. Okay, dead.
Dead indeed. But look at Pitt to walk in, smoke down, smoke off in front.
Oh, save, Chad is saying.
Right. Chad has been saved by Jesus, apparently. Smoke in front of him. Pitt's going to try and walk back out. Plywood, they boost up as well. This is good position for Nico. Man advantage flash in. Does he find him in time? Certainly will. And it's down to Get Right and Pitt. This could be 13th round for FaZe. What a remarkable storyline that would be, considering... I mean, not so much for them. We expect them to play well, but considering the situation for NiP and Mouse Sports picking up those wins, the whole table's on its head. Nico's gonna find Pitt. That's done. Get Right's gone to save.
Well, that is the money gone for NiP. They saved 1 weapon here, but it's 13-8. With 1 weapon in hand, they probably have to force into this round. And God, it all comes from a rain clutch once again, doesn't it? It's looking like they're getting back into it, but what the hell was this? This last Eagle shot as well, I think it's against Pitt as well. He's having a rough game. He seems to be the last player alive in all of these clutches and gets punished once more. Rain's stats is coming up there. He's currently on 24 kills and 13 deaths. If you've got him in your fantasy team, congratulations. You've just made about 1,000 points.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about him too. Damn it.
I got all of G2, and that did not...
Yeah, you're in last place.
Yep.
How does that feel?
Really bad. Thanks for asking.
Well, Jason's beating me, so that feels awful.
Last place, though.
We can't have North American talent beating us, Henry.
Well, they didn't force. Okay, they're going to use that. I thought with the M4 there, they just go all in. But they're going to take a save here. So let's get right, goes wild. He has been playing well so far. Should be 14 in favor of FaZe, and they're going very slow and methodically right now. 1 player towards long. That's going to be Kiyoshima getting some intel here. Exists, challenging Rain. They could actually find this frag. Quickly door opens, but they shut it behind them. That's good work ethic to have.
Kiyoshima to try and find Pitt, but can't do it. That's going to give them another gun to work with. AK-47 to complement this single M4. B, meanwhile, has company, and that's where the attack is going to be. Freiburg inside of the pit will have to play this perfectly. Tries to spot gap on the way through from Bags. Nico looks down that direction, takes him out.
Might have saved his 2 weapons, I would say. Don't risk losing them. You can't win this round.
Well, they may have to consider it, but they're getting closer, are they not? In on top of the catwalk, Nico looks up, easy shot. Rain beats him to it, but now you'd think that they have to get out, and Get Right is backpedaling, not fast enough. Nearly does take 1 down. Nico stays on 6.
Don't know why they're not just automatically saving these weapons there. Help balance the books, drop a UMP over if required, get all nades up. But he wants to challenge. It didn't really make sense to me there, but just Exist trying to survive here towards the bathroom position. And he is being hunted down as well. Plenty of players coming towards long. He's not surviving this. Nico, if he doesn't get him, his teammate certainly will.
Yep, gone. Gone, baby, gone.
They can still buy into this round. I just prefer anything. You can see a player comes up into Famous. That's Freiburg. Potentially didn't have to happen if they save at least 1 weapon there. But I guess you have to take a chance at this point. And for the best, see what happens.
So 2 to go for Nico and Co.
Indeed.
A gaming clan since 2000. FaZe clan. Get it? It's a meme.
Is it?
Well, I'm gonna make it one.
Boost comes in towards middle. We saw a lot of players, especially Major Boy with this boost, get a lot of kills in this particular area. It's very difficult to see the CT boosted up, but nades coming in, they seem to be aware, and then we will be falling back at this point. That's Forest and Exist. They take themselves down to 65 HP with that boost, so they have to try and find that first frag though. They don't have the AWP to work with this time. It's going to be Alu hunting at the map. He's towards Playground right now. Flash comes over Forest. Let's see whether we can get anything towards long.
See if we can indeed. Kerrigan by the fountain. Just going to hold off toward B as well. Inside of the site itself, you've got Freiburg, you've got Pitt. Pushed up bathroom connector this time with Forest waiting on the M4, but is it at a tradable position? Or is that just for further information? Because you've got to swing wide from Get Right's position. Alu's getting closer in front of him. This does do well to find that because Forest is nowhere near, and Alu getting Get Right, again, not tradable, so they have to give up the site. They'll have to play for the retake. Forest is going to try and smoke off toward Parkside and give himself access toward the bank stairs. Instead, swings out, makes it work. So the fourth site to make that happen, and Forest is looking for further kills, further opportunity. Can't quite nail a shot inside of the site directly, but Exist is there to get Alu. That's going to force the bomb back over to B. It's a 4 versus 2, and NiP should anticipate these rotations. Even if they don't, they can sit complacently with 4 and rotate together.
Lost a lot of clutches here today, but this is looking promising now. Forest stepping up there. Knew he had to make something happen, and then Pitt should be able to finish it off as well. 5 seconds remaining. Bomb will not be planted, and there it is. Pitt doing a good job there. It comes down to Forest, though, in my opinion. That was actually looking pretty poor for NiP going into that A site, and Forest drops a nice little smoke, to nice vision for the terrorist. Finds the first kill, and his teammate managing to get the second as well, so good work from him. Still money available, though, for the FaZe clan. 2 rounds separate them from getting the 2-0, excuse me, this evening.
Well, that's the thing, 2 rounds. That's all it takes at this point in time. They've got an op-out on Alu this time around. You'd expect they'll capitalize with that at some point to make good work of a situation, to make light work of the situation. Want to use a whole magazine of bullets from an AK when you can use one from an op? Well, never mind. That's why, because they walk in, blinded off. Freiburg and Pitt go down the entry they need. Smoke to cover off. Forrest is the only kill back. He's going to try for more. He's downed as well. And what's Exist's call?
Well, they've got no money and $1,400 next round. Save the M4. You're not going to do anything. Even if you find 3 kills, it doesn't really mean that much.
No, it means nothing.
So let's just save the gun, shall we? Okay, well, gives his position away. To be fair, no one's going to trade that, so he's okay for now. So at least gives himself $300 to work with, but they know exactly where he is now. They will be hunting as well. You see Kirishima coming from the middle. They want to take him down. They know what this means. They get him down, which they will. It means $1,400 for each player. So Get Right, 2K. Pitt, $1,500. Forest, less than 3. Exist to Freiburg, 3K each. And there's the replay just flashing in. Freiburg is completely wrecked by that. Pitt can't even back him up. And it seems they've adjusted that B-side slightly. We talked about Exist and Freiburg being that tag team combo usually.
Yep.
And maybe they've had to readdress things because Pitt's AWP situation wasn't really working out for them.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that becomes an inherent problem, right? Like, an inherent problem in the fact that
the one good thing you had going.
Yeah, well, you're compromising, constantly compromising. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, that said, Nico makes it work. He finds 2 inside of the water. Get Right's going to wrap around. It's Kerrigan to find him, and that's going to be the game. Forest and Exist, both on scouts. But the scouts honor may not be enough for them to do anything. It's down to 1 remaining. They know where Forest is. Forest, they'll keep this going for us a little bit, try and get the shooting gallery going for the sake of statistics, but no reason to do so because statistics are this. NiP's 0-6.
0-6. That's unbelievable. Overpass, we thought they could kind of pick themselves up after the nuke, but it's just more of the same. Couldn't really ever get rolling. FaZe running away with it. 11-4 in that first half. NiP had a little flourish there in the second, but unfortunately just can't pick up a victory here in Pro League. This is looking very unlikely they'll get to the finals here. And FaZe can continue their dominance, Matt. Can't really take much away from them. Rain especially, how many clutches did he win today? He was influential in these beatdowns of NiP.
Was absolutely unreal. He actually was so sick. Very impressive. The fact that he's fragging and Nico is looking the way he is on FaZe, I think they're the team to watch right now. We'll see if that's what the desks thinks. Jason, I hope your outro's better tonight.
Well, now he's made me nervous. Now he's made me entirely alert. Now he's ruined everything. Oh, I didn't have anything prepared either. Yeah, this is now a winless NiP. You could hear the pain in Henry's voice.
Yeah.
Really what we just saw over those 2 maps against FaZe is that they just couldn't put a complete game together. They had a couple halves in there where you could see they had some ideas they could get back into it, but like they just never give themselves a chance, really.
I think, like they said, you know, when Rain's putting on a show and NiP have front row tickets, they're not going to have a good time.
That was so rough. That 1-on-3 is just unreal, and that's the thing with NiP at the moment is that you can't drop those rounds because some of the other rounds do look good. It looks like you are doing some very good things in these other rounds, but you have too many of those heartbreaks where you lose these post-plant clutches. You can't expect to win matches at this level doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing I addressed tactically with NiP's unorthodox default, They didn't do it once. I sat there, I was like, well, okay, so that's obviously something they prepared specifically for Astralis. But I think they could have used it in this instance. We didn't really see FaZe challenging Connector a lot. And, you know, NiP were getting picked off from time to time. They could have taken that safer route on their T side.
It's kind of, I guess funny is not the right word. Maybe funny sad is the proper way to describe it. This is what NiP used to do to people when they were having their reign. This is like the kind of things they used to do, is win 1-on-3s consistently. The other team at times would look like the better team, but you just had so much individual talent on the NiP squad that you would overcome those easily just with a quick clutch here or there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. If you just look at the way that FaZe address every situation, it's like they want to take the fight. It's like, well, instead of letting you guys decide what's going to happen, we're always going to have a duel. We're always going to be coming at you. And that's going to work for them while they're on. As soon as they're missing shots, it's not going to happen. You saw a couple of rounds there where NiP were able to get the entries, get right, got a quick one, exist, got a quick one, and the round was turned on its head, and they're going to lose those. So if they need to make sure they have more depth. This is like a point that they need to focus on potentially, is making sure they can play this aggressive style, which is fantastic. You also need to be able to hold the bomb side, be passive, and do the fundamentals, because when you're playing teams like Astralis, Virtus Pro, you can't just get away with being pushy all the time.
Yeah, and now as well, I mean, this is just the nightmare situation on NiP. I know I've had this list all day long. I'm going to pick it up again.
Cool.
NiP's next games are next is Virtus Pro is up next. So, I mean, yeah, VP online, but at the other side of the coin, doesn't get very much easier. Still one of the teams you'd put in the top 3.
Yeah, for sure. So VP are doing much better this season than last season online. Seems like they're taking things a little bit more seriously, or they're just having more luck with the online as it's going. But struggle town for NiP going forwards.
Yeah, and as well for Envy earlier today, you can see if you missed the opening 2 games, 16-6 for Navi on Inferno, 16-12 on Train. NiP, we just watched them lose 2 on the B stream. Some definite surprises over there. Well, Hellraisers beating Kingwin on Train isn't too big. Kingwin beating Hellraisers on Cash. But then the big one is Mouse Sports going 2-0 over North tonight. Even without Nico, Oscar's in. Dennis had a pair of big games. And you can see they're still firmly in control of this season.
Isn't that insane? You know, Nico's given these guys a springboard into first place, and they're running with it right now. Dennis, like you said, having amazing performances over 2 maps. Oscar was fantastic before this change happened. We always know Lau, you know, he's a pretty solid player as well. Seems like this Mouse Sports is coming into its own, and it's great to see them develop this way, and they're not completely dilapidated from Nico leaving the squad.
Well, NiP and G2, 1 win between those 2 teams. The legendary NiP and the super team of G2 that just formed out of the second French Revolution. Also interesting to note is North and Astralis sitting just outside the playoff picture at 7 and 8. You don't imagine that's going to continue, but Fnatic at 10th, they've got to pick up the pace as well. So some very, very big names still not in that top 6. We'll have to see what happens as the season winds down. Stay tuned as well, because there is more matches from the North American region that's going to be taking place pretty soon here. SK is going to take on Luminosity, and then following that up is going to be Optic versus NRG.
A lot of Brazilians tonight in NA. There's a Brazilian derby, and Peacemaker is stepping in for Hiko, who is not available to play the matches for whatever reason.
Yeah, we'll see how much Zeus wanted to play again for a while. We'll see if Peacemaker gets that itch back after the games today. Yeah, that is. That's going to be it, I think. And yeah, stay tuned for those NA games. Definitely stick around. Some exciting stuff over there. We'll see what Optic is going to head up and go do. But for us, that's it. Not just for tonight, but for the week. It's been a great time. We'll see if next week NiP can come refreshed, get their first win on the board. But until then, have a good weekend.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.